guys, it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel. And are you so excited? Because today it is episode 12 of K-Beauty This or That. Oh yes, our comparison review series. This is where we take two really similar K-Beauty products and we do that in-depth review, ultimately deciding this or that, which one is better for you. So today I have two super popular and super affordable first essences from Secret Key and Scinic going head to head. Then we're going to explore some milk cleansers from Laneige and from Sioris. And then finally, I want to talk about some really minimal, sensitive, skin-friendly toners from Scinic and Klairs. So if you guys are so ready to start this episode of This or That, you know the drill. Give the video a big thumbs up and let's get started. The Scinic First Treatment Essence versus Secret Key Starting Treatment Essence. Now these two are super similar in my mind because they're very affordable, retailing under $20. And as you guys know, first essences can get quite expensive. These are some of the more affordable options. And they both use the same star fermented ingredient that's going to bring that first essence goodness, and that's Galactomyces ferment. Now this is super popular in Asian beauty, and really, you know, the brand that put this ingredient on the map is SK2, Japanese skincare brand. They also call it Pitera. This was discovered around the 1970s when they realized that there's the whole origin story when they realized that sake brewers, their hands, you know, they would put their hands into, I don't know, the fermented liquid. They realized that their hands were very smooth, they were very youthful, they were very bright, and that didn't exactly match their faces. So they kind of came to the conclusion there's got to be something in this sort of like leftover sake liquid that is really giving their hands this really beautiful benefit for the skin, and thus Galactomyces ferment was discovered. And it really is jam-packed full of a lot of goodies just for the overall health and beauty of your skin, if you will. It is jam-packed full of antioxidants, amino acids, vitamins, and minerals for the skin. It's also a great brightener for your complexion, and it even can help your moisture barrier function because it can really help hydrate the skin by helping to stimulate more hyaluron in your epidermal cells. So let's talk about the Secret Key essence first. So in the Secret Key, we have Galactomyces ferment that is being combined with Arbutin. Now this is a really effective brightener, especially if you get hyperpigmentation, particularly sun damage. Arbutin is pretty effective at helping to improve that type of pigmentation on the skin. Very interesting that they're using Arbutin because although it isn't difficult to find across K-Beauty, it's a little less common than its more famous brightening sort of cousin, which is niacinamide. You're also going to find dimethicone. Now dimethicone, it is a silicone. It is classified as an emollient, so it has a little bit of skin conditioning and moisturizing properties, but it really does have a very reliable benefit for plumping up the skin. Temporarily, of course, this is a very temporary effect, but it can be quite appealing. Now let's talk about the Scinic First Treatment Essence. This is combining Galactomyces with niacinamide, a lot more minimal of a list than the Secret Key. We have adenosine, which is actually great for anti-aging. It's a very anti-inflammatory ingredient with some good wound healing abilities. Always a good one to find in any ingredients list. This also includes licorice root water. Licorice root actually has a great ability to calm and soothe the skin, but it also has its own brightening ability. So it's a great supportive ingredient along with the niacinamide and the Galactomyces. The textures between these two different products is very similar, and I do label them both as classic first essence textures. Now let's just do like a little pause and let's talk about first essences because these are pretty unique to K-Beauty and not everybody is familiar with them. And in fact, they do tend to get confused with toners quite a bit, and that will really set you up for some disappointment if you treat this as your main hydrating product. Both of these products have very thin textures. You know, first essences really are meant as prep products. They go on after cleansing before any other skincare products, and along with their brightening benefits, the anti-aging, the antioxidants, the brightening, right? They are also meant to help the absorption of all your other skincare products, really making your routine more effective for your skin. Therefore, they're not going to carry a lot of their own hydration. They're not going to have a deeply hydrating or replenishing feel to the skin. They are very, very thin. But let me tell you, secret key, absorbs super quickly into the skin. Not a lot of hydration here, but because of that dimethicone, remember, we do have this feeling of silkiness, of softness, almost like velvet skin at the top. That is 100% the dimethicone doing its job. Now, Scinic, this one is still very thin. This is not a replacement for toner, but it does have a little bit more of that hydrating feel, just a whisper more than the secret key. So that is really the main differences between the two. They're both very thin, but one, the Scinic, has a little bit more hydration. The other, secret key, a little bit more of that velvety skin softening effect. So this or that, and I'm just going to be very clear with you guys. In my opinion, this is my own personal opinion, the dimethicone really kills the secret key essence for me. I just can't get past it. Now, I'm not against dimethicone as an ingredient. I actually usually enjoy a little dimethicone in my moisturizers. You know, I do find that silicones do make a difference in my moisturizers. They really do fight dehydration, but I don't like them in liquid products because they do have an occlusivity to them. They do have that, and I don't want to put an occlusive layer as my first skincare layer and then put toner and then put serum and then put, you know, I don't want to do that. I don't want to impede the absorption of any of my other products, which also makes you wonder, why is it being found in a first essence, which is meant to help the absorption of your other products? Now, the Scinic essence is the one that I am going to be declaring as the winner. There's really, I guess, two things that I really seek for in my first essence products. Number one, are they are they helping the absorption? Are they prepping my skin, right? If they're a prep product, they're helping the absorption and the performance of my other products that I put on top of it. And for me personally, and it comes down to that texture, you know, the Scinic one really did seem to, while it doesn't carry a lot of its own hydration, it boosted the hydration of my toners and serums that I put on top of it. I really felt like that it enhanced the performance of those other products. And I just liked how it felt on my skin. I'm not a fan of that silicone feeling at the beginning of my skincare product or my skincare routine. I want it at the end, right? And then the second one that I look for is brightening. You know, I want those complexion benefits. I definitely want that really healthy glow that first essences can bring. And while both did show benefits, I will be honest with you, Secret Key did show some nice kind of glowy overall complexion evening benefits. The Scinic one was just better. I just feel like it gave me more of a glow. Next, Sioris Cleanse Me Gently Milk Cleanser versus Laneige Cream Skin Milk Oil Cleanser. Not only can they act as your regular cleanser, helping to remove, you know, dirt and oil from the face, but they also both claim that they can act as your first cleanser or your sunscreen and makeup remover. Now, when it comes to cleansers, I don't think that it is super duper important to dive very deeply into the ingredients list. I think that for products that go onto your face for such a short amount of time and then wash down the drain, you know, we don't really need to break down ingredient by ingredient with benefits. What I look for in cleansers, I definitely want fragrance-free, essential oil-free, alcohol-free, which of course both of these products do reach that bar. The other thing that I look for is the pH level, and both of these do come in at 5.5, which is really ideal because that's going to be very gentle, respecting the natural pH level of your skin. However, I will just do a few different highlights between these products just to kind of give you an idea between the differences. So the Sioris uses 61% of citrus water. Now, it sounds super fancy, and it does bring a very light, very faint citrus orangey kind of scent to this cleanser. It really doesn't linger. It is not strong, but there is a scent to this one, definitely, and it's coming from the citrus water. Is it bringing a lot of benefits to the skin? No, not really. Again, like I said, cleansers, they're on the face for such a short amount of time and then washed away. We don't need to be too worried about that. Now this product, let's talk about this product in like the fragrance-free issue, because this was recently reformulated to omit essential oils. It did used to contain them. It no longer does. But we do have this like kind of fragrant ingredient that's not technically fragrance, but it's bringing a scent. So it's like, whoa, ooh, where do we stand on that, right? If you're super duper fragrance free, like you're like absolutely no fragrance in my products, this is where the this or that will probably end for you. This is not for you. If you're a little bit more like me, where you're like, I 100% know essential oils do not work for me, right? I really prefer to avoid artificial fragrance where I can. This type of ingredient, this kind of like a floral or citrus type of water, probably not going to pose that much of an issue. Now let's jump over to the Laneige. This is definitely a fragrance-free product, but we are going to find a couple of different oils here, including jojoba and meadow foam seed oil. Even though they are both milk cleansers, they're very different in texture. So Laneige is very fluidy, it's very runny, it's very milk-like, right? As you spread this across your skin, you can feel the emolliency. You can feel this is moisturizing your skin. It's not oily, but it does have a rich moisturization to it. There is that potential to feel a little bit filmy though, like it didn't all wash off of your face, right? So this is something that we need to examine, because most milk cleansers do have a filminess. It's just what degree of filminess are we dealing with? With Laneige, you know, I do feel a film. I do. It's not awful. It's not awful, but it's also not like so light that I can't ignore it. I do, when I use this, I rinse my face so well, over and over, way more than I ever would with any other cleanser. You know what I mean? The very first time I used it, I did follow up with another cleanser because I just wasn't so sure. As somebody who is prone to clogged pores, I don't want a film left on my face after cleansing, right? That's a recipe for disaster. So I have found using this over the last couple of months that if I just rinse super well, that filminess definitely does go away. But it is there initially. It hasn't caused any problems, but it is going to be kind of surprising for those who haven't used milk cleansers before. So let's talk about Sioris, because this also calls itself a milk, and yet you pump it out of the bottle and it's actually a thick cream. And you're like, okay, I'm ready for this, right? And yet looks can be deceiving, and they are with this product, because as you glide this across your skin, and really glide is the right phrase for this, it thins itself out. You know, you were ready for this like thick, cold cream type of texture, and it is so thin, it is so light on the skin. There is some emolliency, there is some moisturization, but it's so light. That's just, in all senses, the word light is very appropriate for this Sioris cleanser. Much lighter in moisture and emolliency and in texture than the Laneige in the feel on the skin. Now, this one, you know, let's talk about that film factor, right? The filmy factor. This is really going to come down to how you personally perceive that feeling on your skin. But for me, in my experience, when I wash the Sioris off, I feel like my skin's been left lightly moisturized, like it infused my skin with some moisture, but I really don't feel like it's a film. Like it doesn't feel like a thickness that probably should be washed off, or else I'm going to get clogged pores. It doesn't induce that panic in me. So this or that. And it feels very clear, right? That Sioris would be the winner based on our film factor. I'm having fun saying that filmy factor. But I gotta break it to you, it's just not that simple. It's just not that easy. Both of these products have shortcomings. They really do fail in certain areas, and I would honestly say neither one of these is a perfect product. I would not trust either one of these products to be my main makeup remover. They're just not equipped to do that. And really, when it comes down to makeup removal, what I really look at especially is eye makeup. I do not wear waterproof mascara, not at all. I wouldn't even consider the mascara that I wear to be difficult to remove because oil cleansers take care of it, no problem. I very rarely need to go in with a second eye makeup remover. However, the Laneige, I would say, did the worst job at removing makeup. It left way more residue on my face than the Sioris did. The Sioris did an almost good job. Like, if I have to rank them, I would say that Laneige took off like 60% of my eye makeup, where the Sioris took off a little closer to 85%. I was almost impressed with that aspect of the Sioris cleanser. So if you are really looking for something with that kind of makeup removal power and you wear very light makeup, right? Because I mean, if you're wearing waterproof full face foundation, don't even bother. Don't even buy into the promise that this will work for your makeup. It won't. It won't. But if you're wearing light makeup and you are attracted to the idea of this taking your makeup off, go with the Sioris. You absolutely love the moisture and comfort and richness that milk cleansers can bring to your skin. You know, Laneige is probably the better choice for you because it is the more moisturizing of the two. It's got more emollient ingredients. It's got that richer texture. You know, what I perceive to be a filminess, right? A light filminess on my skin could very well, for very dry skin types, be the very right amount of moisture infusion for your skin. Sioris, as I said, lighter in all situations. It's lighter on the emolliency, it's lighter in the feel. So if you're attracted to the idea of a milk cleanser, but you don't want the richest one out there, right? You don't want so much moisture infusion, just light moisture infusion, Sioris is going to be the better choice for you. And of course, I do have to bring it up again about the citrus water in Sioris when it comes to the sensitive skin issue. Look, is it truly technically like a fragrant? No, it's not technically. It's probably posing low risk for the majority of us watching this video. It certainly has caused no issues in my skincare routine. I'm not trying to induce panic or anything like that. I'm just trying to be clear for those few out there who rely on me for those very specific recommendations. So this or that, right? I did go through a lot of the shortcomings and some of the pros of both of these products, right? Me personally, you know, for me, I reach for both of these actually. I use them both. Like I said, they're not perfect in my eyes, either one of them, but I do reach for the Sioris just a little bit more because it's that filminess factor for me. The Sioris is just super duper reliable that I'm not going to have to like rinse my skin so much. And yet I do find myself reaching for the Laneige when I'm super duper dry. I think that's where it's going to come down to for a lot of us. The Klairs Daily Skin Hydrating Water going up against Scinic the Simple Calming Toner. So I wanted to do a this or that between these two products because there's three things in my mind that make both of these very similar and really would make them competing products, if you will. So number one, they're very minimal ingredients list. Both of these toners under 15 ingredients. That's not a lot. And when you look at the individual ingredients list, you realize that these are very sensitive skin friendly. They're very gentle and calming types of formulations. And both are very affordable in their own way. I mean, the Scinic toner retails $16 and the Klairs retails for $35. Kelly, $35, that's not affordable. Like, what planet are you on? I'm not talking about individual prices as being affordable, but really the value that you're receiving. Because the Scinic toner, that's 145 milliliters for $16. The Klairs is 500 milliliters. This is a jumbo toner. This is like stars in my eyes because I'm like, ooh, a jumbo toner. The biggest toner I've ever seen in my life. I think it actually is. It would actually take, like, to fill this Klairs bottle, it would take about 3.5 of the Scinic toner, right? So now you're understanding the value that you're getting because $35, right? That's a huge value for a toner that's probably going to last you close to 6 months. So let's talk about the Scinic ingredients list first. Aloe, great proven soothing and hydrating ingredient, and we have madecassoside. I love madecassoside in pretty much anything. That is the active compound that is derived from centella, and it's most responsible for soothing, healing, anti-inflammatory. So it's a really great anti-irritation ingredient. As far as other sort of hydrating ingredients go, we've got glycerin and sodium hyaluronate. Now the texture is very watery. This is like a purely hydrating toner. There's absolutely no moisture. There's no slip or anything like that. This is a very, very watery toner, and I actually classify this as a thin feeling toner. This is not like when we talked about First Essences, by the way. This is a hydrating product, but it across all the different types of toners out there, this is going to have a much lighter, much thinner feeling on the skin. So let's talk about the Klairs toner, and the ingredients list is jam-packed full of hydrators. So we have 45% of green tea water. Other hydrators here include glycerin, coconut water, really excellent for hydrating the skin. Betaine, we have trehulose. I mean, we've got a lot of humectant ingredients that are really all about attracting water to your skin and binding it down. Now, much like the Scinic toner, this is very watery. It's very fluidy. There's no moisture here. You know, this is a very light toner, and yet in comparison, this has what I call a fuller feel. You know, there is that kind of like term, I think I've heard James Welch say, he calls it like full fat water. This feels a little bit more like full fat water in comparison to the Scinic, where I couldn't say thin and light enough to describe that texture. This feels in comparison a little bit fuller. It's a little fuller of hydration, if you will, and yet it's still incredibly light. Now, I will be completely honest with you guys. I have reviewed both of these products before on my channel, and you'll know that I declare them to be average products. And as I said in my toners video recently, that I just really want to repeat again, average does not mean that I've given this product the kiss of death. I still think these are very, very solid products. I do think that they get the job done, and both I think actually can get the job done very, very well. So this or that. The answer is really in the name. Scinic, the calming toner. This is really going to be very gentle, very calming, very soothing on the skin. Based on the texture, it's so thin, it's so light. I think this is going to be like the toner for super oily skin or people who don't like thick and heavy toners. This is just going to create the nice light layer of hydration on your skin without like kind of creating a layer. You know what I mean? Without kind of creating like a filmy feeling or a heaviness on the skin. This is going to be so good for super sensitive skin. This is going to be really good for acne prone skin too, because remember madecassoside, it's a fantastic anti-acne ingredient, and it's very anti-inflammatory. So this is going to be a really nice toner that's going to complement very oily skin or even acne prone skin. Now the Klairs toner is called Hydrating Water, and you know what? That is really where this toner stands in this or that battle. It is definitely the more hydrating of the two products. Remember, looking at that ingredients list, it's jam-packed full of humectants. You know, no wonder it's the more hydrating of the two, and it's got that fuller feeling while still being very light. I mean, both of these are like some of the lightest toners I've ever tried, I will admit. Now, let me tell you, I reviewed this product many months ago, like pre-pandemic. I seem to be putting my life into like these different like time frames, like pre-pandemic and during pandemic, kind of, because that's like the only way I can remember when things happened this year. So pre-pandemic, I did review this toner, and I said that it wasn't hydrating enough for my skin. It was just too light. I will backtrack on that. You know, I'm allowed to change my mind. I'll backtrack on that just a little bit, because when I was first testing this product out, it was at the end of winter and my skin was very dry and very dehydrated. But I've actually recently been using it in my skincare routine right now, at the end of summer, beginning of fall, and I'm less dry. Like, I'm a lot more combination skin, and my dehydration is a lot more under control. And so for light dehydration, this actually is satisfying my skin, my hydration needs just fine, especially when it's in a skincare routine built around other hydrating products. This has actually been working really nicely for me, and I have like a newfound sort of respect for this product. I'm starting to, really enjoy it. It's not what I'm going to be using in my super dehydrated winter months though. So I just wanted to put that out there and be very clear. This is, of the two, the more hydrating one. So if you have higher hydration needs, but you need light toner, no moisture, no balance, no thickness, you could layer this up onto your skin a million times without really feeling that filminess on your skin. You'll just feel like a lot of hydration. This is going to be the one for you. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm always thinking and planning for the next episode, the next comparison battle that I'm going to do for you guys. So I am curious to know what you want to see on the next episode. Let me know in the comment box below. If you love the video, it was helpful for you, but you didn't hit subscribe, don't go yet. Don't go yet. If the video helped you, please consider subscribing to my channel. I release 2 new Korean skincare focused videos every single week. Turn on notifications because you'll never miss out on the new video from me. And then come join me on Instagram if you guys are into Instagram and you want to see me on your feed. We can connect a little bit further. That's like my home away from YouTube. So I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I can't wait to see you in the next video. I am hoping that you are healthy, happy, and safe. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.